Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify, Apple, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. I've been using Uphold for years, since 2017. They have 10 plus million users, 250 plus cryptocurrencies, and are available in 150 countries. As with all exchanges, you can buy and sell on them, but I highly recommend you custody your own crypto. Not your keys, not your coins. If you'd like to learn more about Uphold, please visit the link in the description. Okay, let's start with looking at the price of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, of course, has been moving very strong over the past 24 to 48 hours. Of course, last night it busted through 30K. Right now it's sitting at 30K, $186. Looking strong. The alts are also moving in a nice direction, but the show is about Bitcoin right now. We want to see what is Bitcoin going to do as it continues its move and the move towards a retracement. And as I've been saying, I'm looking to take profits. I think Bitcoin gets to about 40 to 50K. And this is going to happen over months. You know, it could be like a 5-month timeline. If you look at when the initial pump started, it was in January. Then it had to move up, consolidate, build support levels, then move up again, build support levels and consolidate. And now it's moving up again. Same thing repeating over and over. Of course, you're going to have pullbacks, but it's similar to what we've seen in 2019. And in fact, there are some macro level charts like this one from Rect Capital showing Bitcoin is in the early bull market stage. And they said 30,000 is only the beginning. So certainly I'm hopeful that Bitcoin moves like 2019. It's not guaranteed, right? We are in very uncertain times with the macroeconomics and the Fed and inflation and all the different things that are going on, not to mention enforcement actions against the crypto industry. But the data doesn't lie, and we're seeing the cycles playing out as they have historically. And that's not to say they can't deviate over time, but it's, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme, and we're seeing some rhyme here. So looking good. And, one funny thing, which it is funny, but it's also incredibly accurate, is Jim Cramer. Remember a month ago, he told everybody to sell your Bitcoin. He said, I would not be touching this stuff. And of course, Bitcoin is up near 50% since he said to sell a month ago. and if you guys are on Twitter, make sure you follow the Inverse Cramer account, which tracks all of Jim Cramer's statements and the things he's saying. And boy, if you trade against Jim Cramer, you're doing really well. I would say 95% of the things that he puts out there, the opposite happens, right? We've seen it time and time again. It's just hilarious, but incredibly accurate at the same time. And here's some statistics as to Bitcoin's performance year to date. So Bitcoin is up 82%. The NASDAQ is up 20%. Gold is up 9%. The S&P 500 is up 7%. Silver up 4%. Oil up 4%. Real estate up 0.25%. US 10-year treasury is down or negative 2%. So Bitcoin outperforming everything. And of course, if you throw in some altcoin numbers here, you'll probably see some altcoins outperforming the NASDAQ as well. So crypto, as Paul Tudor Jones put it so rightfully so in 2020, it's the fastest horse in the race. And it's the new technology, the new disruptive technology. And of course, it has a scarcity, right? There's a hard cap on the supply of many of these tokens. And we know a lot of Bitcoin has been lost through people forgetting their private keys, people throwing away hard drives and computers which had their Bitcoin. So the scarcity aspect will play a big role in the valuation of many of these cryptocurrencies. And keep in mind that the crypto industry or crypto assets are a global asset class. They're not specific to United States. It's not like the NASDAQ, which is like a United States stock market or something like that. This is a global asset class, and anyone, you don't have to be an accredited investor. Anyone can just put $10 into Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it may be. That's there's never been anything like that in the history of the world, right? This is why I'm so bullish on crypto. Do I diversify? Of course. I own an investment real estate property. I invest in ETFs and stocks as well, but majority of my investing capital is in crypto, but I am diversified, right? I don't put all my eggs in one basket because you never know what could happen. It's a matter of diversifying and reducing the risk in your portfolio. All right, we got some big updates in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. So attorney James K. Filan tweeted out, the SEC files letter of supplemental authority in further support of its motion for summary judgment. So attorney Fred Rispoli gave some comments on what he thinks this is. He said, well, the SEC just filed a notice of supplemental authority regarding the FND from an Massachusetts district court case. Although it's not super on point, this could delay summary judgment ruling, as Judge Torres usually gives the other side time to reply to these notices. Sigh. So more delayed tactics from the SEC. Once again, this is not anything that is significant that will sway the judge or whatever it may be, but it will delay, as attorney Fred Rispoli is saying here. So the SEC continues to act shady. We know they don't want to lose this case, folks. It will be a big loss for them. It will set the precedent for the entire crypto industry and for different altcoin projects to be able to fight the SEC. And we need Ripple to win, and we need Grayscale to win, folks. So let's keep a close eye on this. Regardless of what's happening here in this case, I think Ripple is still in the driver's seat. I've been on record for years now that I believe Ripple will probably have to pay a fine for sales of XRP that took place maybe in 2013 to 2015. But anything after that in today's XRP and the future XRP sales will not be considered a securities offering. And we need this win, folks. And maybe this win would help drive Congress to act to provide clear regulation. So let's hope, whether you hate Ripple or XRP, that doesn't matter. We need the industry to have a victory here with Ripple and with Grayscale. Now, speaking of the SEC, we got a report that the SEC is adding attorneys to Crypto Enforcement Unit. The hiring is a sign of the Securities and Exchange Commission's increased regulation of digital assets. Well, regulation is the wrong word there, more like enforcement actions and draconian enforcement actions against the crypto market. So be prepared, folks. I think more is coming, more actions against different crypto companies and projects. Once again, this is why we need Ripple and Grayscale to win. So the call for attorneys to join the regulator's Crypto Asset and Cyber Unit, or CACU, comes after the agency said in March that it was planning to add additional staff to the unit, which was initially meant to be a 20-person operation, but has since doubled in size. Now, next week, SEC Chair Gary Gensler will be appearing before the House Financial Committee. And we know guys like Tom Emmer and Representative Huizenga and many more, Patrick McHenry, are going to look to hold Gary Gensler accountable. Let's hope they do. And they put the fire to him, right? I remember Tom Emmer tweeted out, it's time to fire up the grill, right? They better put the pressure on him. And, in my interview with Representative Huizenga, we talked about they can control the purse strings and potentially cut funding and also put some mandates out for the SEC to, do certain things. So let's see what happens. I'm hoping our representatives do their job and keep Gary Gensler accountable and stop this overreach that he and the SEC have been doing. Now, in regards to that news of the SEC hiring more attorneys, attorney John Deaton, who's representing about 75,000 plus XRP holders, he said, in court is where we win. So this is, once again, goes back to what I've been saying. We need Ripple, we need Grayscale, and these other companies to win as well. Now, regardless of all these things that have been happening, all the headwinds Ripple has been facing with the SEC, they continue to expand their footprints globally and get adoption of the XRP ledger. And one of the use cases is building CBDCs on the XRP ledger. So we got a report here, Montenegro's central bank to test CBDC with Ripple. The central bank will identify the practical application of a digital currency and come up with a design to simulate its circulation. So, folks, as I've said many times, CBDCs are inevitable. They're coming. What we do want to make sure that happens is that the government doesn't have total control and they respect at least some level to our privacy. And hopefully those laws are put into place, because we've seen how the abuse of power these governments have done over the years, whether it be the NSA, the Patriot Act, and so forth. And I believe CBDCs are bullish for the future of crypto. Like, they're going to introduce it to the public and educate people about the blockchain and tokenization, right? The future is the token economy, as I've been talking about for a long time. We are headed to that token economy where everything's running on the blockchain, including fiat currencies. So great partnership here for Ripple. And of course, the CBDCs are going to be minted on the XRP ledger. So that's adoption of XRP there. So the project will analyze the advantages and risks that CBDCs or national stablecoins could pose concerning electronic means of payment availability, security, efficiency, compliance with regulations, and most importantly, the protection of end users' rights and privacy. CBCG Governor Radoje Zujic said in a statement, and I probably butchered his name, Montenegro is not a member of the European Union, but it has adopted the euro without joining the Eurozone. The European Central Bank and EU are set to decide whether to introduce a digital euro later this year. Folks, let me break the news here. They're all going to introduce a CBDC. It's coming. All this dog and pony show, back and forth, political grandstanding and all that jazz and virtue signaling. That's all just to get the public, kind of maybe have burnout where they know, like, okay, whatever, just give us a CBDC. I'm tired of your fighting, your back and forth, right? It's coming. I think we see the writing on the wall, regardless of who stands up and says no. It's happening. This is the future. There's no way around it. Now, big news around Coinbase and Flare, my friends. So XRP holders, of course, are due to receive the Flare airdrop from Coinbase, those who participated in the Flare snapshot. Well, Coinbase, they tweeted out today, Coinbase will add support for Flare on the Flare network. Do not send this asset over other networks or your funds may be lost. Inbound transfers for this asset are available on Coinbase and Coinbase Exchange in regions where trading is supported. As previously stated, Coinbase will be honoring our prior commitment to support the Flare token airdrop for eligible users. So this is great, guys. They're going to add support, better late than never, right? I mean, a lot of XRP holders were pissed off because Coinbase publicly promised and they didn't meet the deadlines of the distributions. So looks like they're finally going to get this up and running, although there's no specific date here, but we'll see. They said, we intend to begin the airdrop distribution process today. Oh, today, my bad. During which outbound transfers will be unavailable. Stay tuned for additional details on the Flare token airdrop on our Coinbase assets handle. Trading is expected to begin if and when liquidity conditions are met and after our airdrop distribution is complete. Once sufficient supply of this asset is established and our airdrop distribution is completed, we will announce the impending launch of our trading on our FLR USD pair in phases. So this is great. Coinbase is the largest US exchange. They're finally getting around to supporting Flare and distributing the airdrop to the rightful owners, which are XRP holders who participated in the snapshot on Coinbase and other exchanges. So this is really great news, guys. Excited about this stuff. And, attorney Fred Rispoli, if you guys recall, I interviewed him and he was suing Coinbase because they refused to distribute this stuff. And he said, someone asked the question, how does this impact the ongoing lawsuit? Fred said, it means you should really thank the two plaintiffs that stood up on everyone's behalf to give Coinbase a kick in the you-know-what, to do the right thing a lot faster than it had planned. More specifically, it means the main focus of the lawsuit will be on the Songbird heist going forward. So Fred's going to go after them for not distributing the Songbird as well, which he knows they have. So same thing here. So hopefully once they get Flare done, they retroactively distribute the Songbird tokens as well. Now, big Cardano news today as well. Cardano developer IOG releases the Lace Wallet, boosting ADA ecosystem. So the Lace Wallet has been in the works for a while. They finally launched it. I remember interviewing Charles Hoskinson, I think it was last year, about this. So this is really big. Users can stake ADA tokens directly from Lace to contribute to the security of the Cardano network and receive rewards for their participation. That's even bigger, guys, because as this clown Gary Gensler and the SEC try to shut down staking on exchanges, which it's easier to go after a centralized exchange. But if you have a wallet service that you can do it, like I'm gonna definitely use this and stake my ADA, and I currently stake, but I'm going to use it through the Lace wallet. It's going to be harder for the SEC to stop stuff like this. So this is really great. Lace is a browser-based wallet similar to the popular MetaMask product. It allows users to access the Cardano network directly and use Cardano-based decentralized applications. Users can send and receive Cardano digital assets like ADA, Cardano non-fungible tokens, and Cardano native tokens. They can also stake ADA directly from the wallet to contribute to the security of the network and receive rewards for their participation. Lace will enable users to send multiple assets to different addresses in one transaction with one transaction fee through a new bundle transaction feature, which groups transactions into one bundle to save costs. I know there was a lot said there, but it's all positive news. So really great update. I'm going to try to get Charles back on the show so we can talk about this, but I think this is great on multiple levels. I hold some Cardano. So the fact that you can stake directly through this wallet developed by the Cardano Foundation is really great. Now, Shapella, or I should say Shapella, Ethereum's upgrade, it's going to happen tomorrow, guys. And there's an article saying he could reignite institutional interest in blockchain. Lower barriers to entry may draw greater institutional interest to the space. Ether Capital CEO Brian Mossoff tells Blockworks. So let's see how it goes. Part of the rally in the markets, one could say contributing to that is the fact that this is taking place. So Ethereum's network runs on a proof of stake model and is secured by validators who must deposit 32 Ether to participate in the block validations. Shapella is a significant event for Ethereum, as it will be the first time that ETH stakers, many of whom had their Ether locked up since November 2020, will be able to retrieve their deposits from the network smart contract. So this is great. I currently stake some ETH, and you'll be able to unlock accordingly. Now, some people are saying, "Hey, expect a big dump." Well, we'll see. It might just be a small thing, but if you're staking and you're earning passive rewards, is not necessarily a reason to sell unless you really need the cash, right? Because if you're looking at the macro perspective on Ethereum and other assets, you're earning the passive income, and it's accumulating, accruing, and then when we hit new all-time highs, then you sell for profits, right? So I think that's how most people are looking at it, but we'll see. Are there going to be people who are going to sell? Of course, but we'll see what happens. Big news out of El Salvador, guys. El Salvador grants first digital asset license to Bitfinex. Tokenized shares and yield-bearing assets are potential products that could be launched under the new regulatory framework approved by the Central American Authority. Part of this is also the Bitcoin bonds. So the license was issued subsequent to a law passed in January by the Legislative Assembly of El Salvador that regulates digital securities and created a framework for the Central American country to launch Bitcoin-backed bonds, also known as volcano bonds. Here's a quote. "We are delighted to be the first country to be awarded this license, or the first company, to be awarded this license," Paulo Ardiano, Chief Technology Officer at Bitfinex, said in the statement. It will enable Bitfinex securities to facilitate the issuance and secondary trading of assets with clearly defined rights and obligations as outlined in the new digital asset regulatory regime. And Ardiano has worked closely with El Salvador on the Bitcoin bond project. So El Salvador is moving in the right direction. They just recently passed some updated tax laws which reduces taxes on crypto and tech activities. Very smart. And obviously they have Bitcoin in their treasury reserve. They have Bitcoin as a legal tender, and now they're going to launch a bond, and they're going to mine Bitcoin with volcanic energy. Very smart on their move, on their part, and I'm hoping other countries follow suit as well. I believe there's also Algorand is doing something in El Salvador. I forgot the exact details, but they're also working with the government to improve and put things on the blockchain. Now, we got news here that CleannSpark, a Bitcoin miner, they bought $144.9 million of Bitcoin mining rigs to double their hash rate. The brand new Bitmain Antminer S19 XP's miners will be delivered by September. So it looks like they're ramping up here ahead of the halving next year. So crypto miner CleannSpark bought 45,000 new Bitcoin miner or Antminer Bitmain Antminer S19 XPs for $144.9 million, which will almost double its current computing power or hash rate once installed, the firm said in a Tuesday press release. This is the latest in a series of acquisition of distressed assets by the miner, which started in the summer of 2022. So a lot of stuff at discount after the big bear market collapse last year. Smart move, buying in at the cheap, preparing for the next halving and new all-time highs. Smart move. Finally, Sei Labs, is spelled SEI, raises $30 million for trading-focused Layer 1 blockchain. Investors included Jump Crypto, Distributed Global, and Multicoin Capital. So, folks, crypto companies and projects are still getting capital, and that shows people are still bullish. They're looking at the macro, the long term, and a lot of these projects are still getting money. So this is really, really great. The funding will help accelerate Sei Labs' growth, including a deeper expansion into the Asia Pacific region. Sei, if you want to know what it is an open source layer 1 blockchain that is designed to allow decentralized exchanges and trading apps to offer users a fast and easy way to trade assets. Sei's public test network went live on March 13th and has attracted more than 3.6 million users since then, according to the company. The funding comes as investments in the crypto industry remain constrained by the bear market, though the blockchain infrastructure projects have proven one of the most resilient categories. So the money's still coming in, is it less, of course, because of the bear market and all the things that have been going on, but people are still investing, building, and expanding, guys. There's mergers, acquisitions happening. So very exciting stuff. Bullish on the macro. Once again, short term, we got headwinds. So don't forget to take profits where you can. Obviously, do your own research, make your own decisions. But I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. And let me know what you guys think about the news. Leave your thoughts and comments below. And I will talk to you all later.